Every morning after their mother died, two little girls woke up with perfect braids in their hair. But when their father stayed awake one night to catch who was doing it, what he discovered changed their lives forever. The house without a voice. The plains of Wyoming Territory stretched endlessly under a pale sky, the wind dragging dust across the land like it had somewhere better to be. Daniel Harper stood outside his small ranch house, staring at nothing in particular. 6 months had passed since his wife, Clara, died during a harsh winter illness, but time hadn't made it easier. If anything, the silence had grown heavier. Inside the house, everything still felt like her. The neatly folded quilts, the tin cups she used every morning, the empty rocking chair by the window, and worst of all, the quiet. His daughters, Lucy and May, had stopped laughing the way they used to. Lucy, at 10, had become careful, too careful. May, only 7, still held on to hope in ways that hurt to watch. "Papa," May's voice came from behind him. He turned. "Yeah, sweetheart, can you braid my hair like Mama used to?" Daniel hesitated. He had tried before. It hadn't gone well. "I'll try," he said gently. Inside, he sat her down and clumsily worked through her hair. His fingers were too rough, too unsure. The braid came out uneven, messy. May looked in the small mirror. "It's okay," she said quietly, but her eyes said otherwise. Lucy didn't ask any more. That night, Daniel sat alone long after the girls slept, staring at the dim lantern light. "I'm trying, Clara," he whispered. But trying didn't feel like enough. The next morning began like any other. But something was different. Lucy woke first. She sat up, rubbed her eyes, and froze. Her hair, it was braided, perfectly, carefully, exactly the way her mother used to do it. Her heart started pounding. "May," she whispered. May woke groggily. Lucy turned her around. May gasped. "My hair." Lucy rushed to the mirror. Both of them, braided. Neat, gentle, familiar. They ran to Daniel. "Papa, look." Daniel blinked in confusion. "Did you do this?" Lucy asked. He shook his head slowly. "No, I didn't." The room fell silent. No broken locks, no signs of anything missing. Just two perfect braids. That shouldn't have been there. Watching the darkness, Daniel didn't believe in ghosts. But he believed in danger. The next night, he stayed awake. Rifle loaded, lamp turned low. He sat in the corner, eyes fixed on the door. Hours passed. Nothing. Then, a soft creak. The door moved, just slightly. Daniel's grip tightened. A figure slipped inside. A woman, thin, quiet, worn clothes, dust on her boots. She didn't look around. She didn't steal anything. She walked straight to the girls. Daniel didn't move. He watched. Carefully, slowly, gently, the woman began braiding Lucy's hair. Her fingers moved with skill and care, like she'd done it 1,000 times before. There was no fear in her movements. No rush, just kindness. Then she moved to May. When she finished, she stood to leave. "Stop." The word cut through the room. The woman froze. Slowly, she turned. Her eyes met his. Not angry, not frightened, just tired. "Who are you?" Daniel asked. There was a long pause. Then, "Eliza," she said softly. "The woman by the ridge." "Why are you in my house?" Daniel demanded. Eliza glanced at the girls. "They shouldn't wake up without feeling cared for," she said quietly. Daniel frowned. "That ain't your place." "I know." "Then why did it?" She hesitated. Her voice dropped. "Because I remember what it's like, when no one does." Something in her tone made him pause. "Where do you stay?" he asked. She looked toward the hills. "Near the broken ridge. There's an old shed." Daniel studied her. She didn't look dangerous. She looked alone. "You can't come here like this," he said firmly. "I understand." "Then don't come back." She nodded. "I won't." And she left. Part 5. The Return of Kindness. The next morning, the braids were back. Daniel exhaled sharply. She didn't listen. He rode out to the ridge. It didn't take long to find her. The shed was barely standing. Pieces of wood patched together. Smoke rising from a weak fire. Eliza sat outside. She didn't seem surprised to see him. "I told you not to come," he said. I didn't come after you spoke, she replied calmly. He frowned. You came before. She nodded. Silence stretched between them. Finally, he asked, why do you care so much? Eliza looked down at her hands. I had a daughter, she said. Daniel didn't interrupt. She used to sit just like them, every morning. Waiting. His voice softened. What happened? Eliza closed her eyes. Winter. That was all she said. It was enough. A different kind of offer. Days passed. No more visits. No more braids. The girls noticed. May cried one morning. I want the nice lady back. Lucy didn't say anything, but she stopped smiling completely. That evening, Daniel sat alone again. Thinking. Remembering. The next morning, he rode back to the ridge. Eliza was there. Cold. Tired. Alone. You can come, Daniel said. She looked up, confused. But not like before, he added. No sneak in. You come through the door. Eliza blinked. You trust me. Not fully, he said honestly. But I trust what I saw. A long pause. Then, all right. Warmth returned slowly. The first morning she came openly felt strange. The girls stared at her. Then May ran forward. You're real. Eliza smiled faintly. Yes, I am. Lucy stepped closer. You're the one who braided our hair. Eliza nodded. If that's okay. Lucy didn't answer. She just sat down in front of her. That was answer enough. As Eliza worked, the house felt different. Lighter. Not full, but not empty either. Daniel watched quietly. Something was changing, and he didn't know whether to be afraid of it or grateful. The past that never leaves. Over time, Eliza became part of their mornings. She never stayed long, never overstepped, but she was there. One morning, Lucy asked, what was your daughter's name? Eliza's hands paused. Anna. What was she like? Eliza smiled softly. Brave. Loud. Always asking questions. Lucy nodded. Like May. May grinned. Eliza's eyes shimmered, but she kept working. Daniel watched from the doorway. He saw something he hadn't seen in months. Hope. Trouble comes to the ranch. Not everyone in town approved. Word spread quickly. A strange woman living near Harper's land. Seen going into his house. One afternoon, a man named Carter rode up. You letting strangers around your girls now? He asked harshly. Daniel stepped forward. She ain't a threat. You don't know that. I know enough. Carter shook his head. You're blinded. Maybe he was. But Daniel had seen her hands. Gentle. Careful. Not dangerous. The truth revealed. One cold morning, Eliza didn't come. The girls waited. Nothing. Daniel rode out to the ridge. He found her inside the shed. Weak. Burning with fever. You should have said something, he muttered. I didn't want to be a burden, she whispered. Daniel sighed. You already are. Might as well come inside where it's warm. She tried to protest, but she couldn't stand, so he helped her up. And for the first time, she crossed the threshold not as a stranger, but as someone who belonged. A new kind of family. Weeks passed. Eliza recovered slowly. The girls never left her side. The house changed. Laughter returned. Not the same as before, but real. One evening, May asked, are you staying forever? Eliza looked at Daniel. He met her gaze, then nodded slightly. If she wants to, he said. Eliza's voice trembled. I'd like that. Lucy smiled. May hugged her tightly. And Daniel, for the first time since Clara died, he didn't feel alone. Outside, the wind still moved across the plains. But inside that small wooden house, there was warmth again, not because the past had returned, but because kindness had found its way back. Please friends spot my channel. Like, share, comment, subscribe for more stories. Thanks for watching.